Hello everyone and welcome to Capitol Watch for Friday, April 18th, our weekly look at the Missouri General Assembly. And joining us from our governmental relations offices in Jefferson City is our Associate Executive Director for Advocacy and our Chief Lobbyist, Mike Reed. And Mike, some big issues to talk about this week, not the least of which is the passage of Senate Bill 509, the tax cut bill. Both houses now have passed it and sent it on to the governor's desk.
It is now on the governor's desk, and it'll be interesting to see what is going to happen. We believe the governor will veto this piece of legislation, and then it will be back in front of the General Assembly, and we are going to be encouraging our members to write their representatives and their senators and say, support the governor's veto. This is a tax cut bill that will cost someplace between $500 and $800 million. It goes into effect in 2017. It reduces in a phased-in effect from 6% to 5.5%, the highest rate in state income tax, and it also gives a reduction to businesses and their pass-through money. The reason that we have problems with this is the fact that in 2005, the Missouri General Assembly made it a commitment to the students of the state of Missouri that they would fully fund the foundation formula. That formula has not been fully funded, and until such time as that commitment is made, we feel that that's the most important commitment to make before we do a reduction in taxes. Please fund the formula, then let's talk about sales and other taxes to be reduced. But it's a significant amount of money. Granted, it is off in the future, and some people are saying, well, by that time, our economy will have grown and we will grow into it. I would hope that to be the case, but right now, the way that the economic indicators are and the way that the money is coming in this year, that is not the case. And again, please fund the formula, and then let's talk about tax cuts after that.
And Mike, we face a different scenario now compared to last summer when we also faced the prospect of a veto override attempt by the legislature with a tax cut measure, House Bill 253 last summer. Last year we had several weeks to work on this issue, but we have a much shorter time frame this time, don't we?
It's a much shorter time frame because this bill was passed during the legislative time, and there's still enough time left constitutionally. So the override attempt will be taken before the end of session at the middle of May. So we have a much shorter time frame, and so it's more important for our members to get hold of their representatives this week. Tell them that this is how this affects your district. You understand moving the economy in the state of Missouri, but move the economy first. Let's educate the children, and let's meet the commitments that the legislature has previously made to these children.
And Mike, we're also encouraging our school boards to pass resolutions to support the sustaining of the veto of Senate Bill 509.
Yes, we are. Those resolutions are on our website. All the information is on our website concerning how much is going to potentially cost your district, and various questions and answers are on our website.
All right. Another issue this week, Mike, was the Common Core state standards. We've been following that with various pieces of legislation during the session. What happened there?
Well, the Common Core state standards passed the House, the changes in the Common Core state standards, and let's really get really specific. It's the Missouri standards that have their basis in the Common Core. And the Missouri standards, the questions of Missouri standards and changes of those passed the Missouri House, and they went to the Missouri Senate. The changes include establishing a work group of educators and some parents to work on establishing new state standards. Now, these new state standards can be based on the Common Core, but they will be called, again, the Missouri state standards. And this phase-in and this work should be done in the next 2 years. That bill seems to be moving rather rapidly, and I expect it'll come out of the Senate in the next couple of weeks.
Another issue we've been following closely, Mike, has to do with state intervention in struggling school districts and the student transfers that are currently occurring and potentially could occur in the future. We've had a lot of bills on that topic. Where are we right now on it?
A lot of bills are on that. The Senate bill seems to be the one that is going to have the legs. It passed the Senate, it is in the House. We anticipate that a bill will be heard in committee next week and voted out of committee. The Senate bill will be looked at and redone by the House members. It has some problems with it still. It appears that there still is in that bill is public money going to private education. It is public money going to non-sectarian schools, private non-sectarian schools, non-religious schools. That's a problem for us. It's against our resolutions. It's against our standards. We do not believe that public money should go to private schools, especially since private schools are not held to the same standards as public schools. Students in failing districts need the best education we can give them. If that means then working with the surrounding districts, so be it. If that means working with the district itself, because the majority of kids still stay in those districts, let's give the struggling districts the help they need to overcome the problems that they have.
What about the state budget and the funding outlook for the next fiscal year? Mike, does that look about the same as the situation we've discussed in previous programs?
Yes, it really does. The Senate has not passed the budget yet. I anticipate it to be next week. After that, then it'll go to conference. But it looks about the same as we probably have. There's a question on how much it's going to be. The Senate and the House have agreed to in essence, two figures, a smaller figure of about $120 million in new funding for the foundation formula, which is the House figures. If in fact money comes in at a higher rate, the House and the Senate have put in the governor's figures, which is more on the order of $250 million. So one or the other, we will get it appears that we will get an increase in the foundation formula. It still will not be fully funded.
What else coming up next week can we look forward to, Mike?
Well, coming up next week, we can look forward to, I believe, the Senate working on the budget and getting it out, getting ready to go back to committee. The transfer bill will be voted out of the House committee. We will see some more work and some more ideas on the new Missouri state standards. Probably that should be discussed in the Senate sometime next week or the week after. Just all kinds of interesting things. This is 4 weeks left. It is now crunch time, and all kinds of bills will be flying back and forth.
But the most important issue, Mike, of course, is the tax cut bill and the anticipated veto of that and the potential override attempt. And we can't stress enough how important it is for our members to contact legislators on that issue. The
most important issue is, yes, we need to let legislators know how this affects your district, and they need to know your feelings upon this. Please do not hold back on this situation. If you have questions, please feel free to call, look on our website. But the most effective lobbying we have in Jefferson City is the grassroots lobbying of our members. Our members are all elected officials. They have to go to the same people to be elected as state representatives and state senators. You all have the same constituency, and you also have to figure out how money should work in your districts. So you have a very, very good kinship with reps and senators, and please let them know how their actions in Jefferson City are going to affect you.
Mike Reed, as always, thanks a lot for being with us, and we'll keep you up to date on the goings-on in Jefferson City through our Legislative Voice newsletter, critical issue alerts, daily posts on our website, as well as this program. Thanks a lot for joining us on this edition of MSBA's Capitol Watch.